Hello and welcome back to Katawa Shoujo. And we're heading right back in to what I already forgot. Wait, what happened before? Oh yeah, it was about the park and the letter, and now we're here for some reason. Okay. The feeling of walking through the streets is one of very deep nostalgia. While Yamaku may be like the reverse of where I've lived in the past, the city at night is amazingly familiar. My eyes are moving constantly from the bright electronic screens glowing high in the night sky, to the street lamps piercing the darkness with their light, to the businessmen enjoying themselves after work and the busily talking couples on dates. Even if I didn't want to, I can't help soaking in every aspect of the city. I savor its familiarity like a sweet candy sitting on my tongue. Oh, hi! Lily is walking to my left with her cane swaying to and fro, holding onto her sister's arm for guidance while talking to her. Compared to traveling by taxi or bus, being driven by Akira in a rather nice car was a much more enjoyable experience. Oh hi, no new outfit! This suits her kinda nice. Maybe not for the person on my right though. While Lily was used to her sister's driving style and I quite liked a bit of excitement, Hanako was holding very tightly to the door for most of the trip. Everything looks so pretty at night. Hanako quickly looks down, yet again, as she accidentally catches someone's gaze. Yeah, it does. My answer isn't very thoughtful, since I'm distracted by so many thoughts that I find it hard to keep up on small talk. One of those distractions aside from the city sights is how Hanako looks. This is the first time I've seen her in something other than her school uniform or her pajamas. It gave me pause when I first saw her outfit, when we met up at the school gate. Considering how much her head is lowered when people walk near us, I imagine that the hat she wears is more than a fashion statement. While initially I was wary of Lily's plan to take us out into the city, when night fell it became obvious she had thought about this. Not many people have paid Hanako much heed, since the darkness hides her scouring well. So, we're in the city. Any ideas on what to do? Karaoke bar! I think that would be a good idea. Akira beams a smile. Something tells me that she's the one who is making this particular decision, even if her sister may have proposed the outing in the first place. You'll see. Just follow us. I nod and try my best to stifle a grimace. After what happened during Hanako's birthday party, I don't trust Akira's judgment all that much. We keep walking, and I notice that we are passing more and more cafes, restaurants, and other eateries. Every once in a while, a drunken man in a suit comes out of a bar, usually being supported by another, but for the most part the customers around this part of the city look young and fashionable. Different kinds of music come and go as we pass by each business. The discord created by the overlaps should be grating, but it reminds me so strongly of the times I spent in the city with my old friends that I don't mind. Hanako and I have started to drift a little apart from Lily and Akira. That comes to a stop when I hear a soft thud from beside me. Sorry. By the time she rights herself from her apologetic bow, the middle-aged businessman she bumped into is walking away after mumbling a half-hearted apology. Hanako looks a little put off by the experience, and as she quickly skips ahead to match my pace, I notice her head hanging low once more. She probably bumped into him because she was looking downwards and not where she was going. I step to the side a little and put one hand on her far shoulder, drawing her closer. Wait, you mean not the shoulder here, but the shoulder where you grab your arm so around? Maybe like this? Even though you couldn't see it. Iso? It's okay. You can walk closer to me if you want. Oh. Hanako hesitates, but eventually nods in assent. Oh, those are a lot of people at night. After a couple of times, when I thought we had arrived at Akida's destination, we reach our target. By now we are below the elevated walkways and past the most garish and brightly lit places. I'm a bit surprised. The average age of those around us is distinctly older, and the smell of cigarette smoke is pretty thick. Oh god. The area is far from seedy though, and it's a little amusing to see Lily's reaction to the smell of the smoke. While it's masked by the low talking of those around us, jazz music can be heard emanating from inside. Looking up at the dimly lit sign, it becomes obvious why. A jazz club. I have to admit, this isn't what I expected. Lily gives an amused snort and a smile. Somehow, I feel like I should have known it, Akira. As we talk outside, I notice more and more odd sideways glances directed our way. People awkwardly catch themselves staring and look away, but that just makes it more obvious. I had noticed this occasionally when we were talking, but it's more pronounced now. I've never experienced anything like that in my life. An average-looking Japanese teenage guy, just a little taller than normal, isn't the type to draw attention without making an effort. Hey, come on. Just because you're teenagers doesn't mean you can't have a taste, right? Well, I don't really mind the music if that's what you mean. I don't mind it either. She's only just managing to force the words out. It contrasts heavily to when we're alone in Yamako, and it disappoints me a little that she's so highly strung for what's supposed to be a good time out on the town. It's hard to read Hanako's face as she keeps looking downwards. It's little wonder if she doesn't often come out into the city because of this, and it makes me a little thankful that my own scouring is easily hidden. Lily has a similar way of attracting people's gazes, but the reason for it is clearly different. She hardly looks like a native, and the same can be said for her sister. That much is far more noticeable than her blindness from a distance. She may not be able to see this for herself, but I have little doubt she can hear the odd whispered phrase from people who think they are out of earshot. Be that as it may, she doesn't seem to show any sign of either annoyance or pleasure at the attention. Akida's still as confident as ever though. Flashing a smile, she strides in with Lily by her side, and the two of us following behind. I had expected my eyes to need adjusting to the light inside, but it's not much brighter than outside. The music we'd heard is clearer now, mixed in with the sound of glasses moving on the tables and counter, and the husky chatter of the patrons looking to my right reveals the music's source, a jazz group playing beyond some tables. The patrons seem to be mostly men, and though there's a handful of women, nobody looks under 30. Aside from us, of course. It feels a little like we've stepped into the 1920s, and the atmosphere is quite agreeable. I'm not completely comfortable simply because of my age, but were I older, I would probably feel quite at home. Hanako seems a bit more relaxed now, probably due to nobody looking at her. Everybody's talking between themselves, drinking or watching the band. Akira casually takes a seat at the counter without even glancing around. She's probably come here before. Lily retracts her cane, feeling out the bar stool and the edge of the counter before taking a seat beside her sister. The bartender takes a brief break from polishing a glass to watch her before putting it down and coming over. Good evening, ladies. What will it be? Just a scotch, thanks, Lily. May I have a glass? What the fuck? May I have a glass of cha? A black-suited elbow hits her side sharply. Oh, come on, Akira. Really? She hit her because no alcohol for you. You don't get your champagne. I have to pay for it. Sister? Orange juice, please. No problem. Coming right up. The bartender starts to pour the drinks. A couple of seconds pass before Akira suddenly remembers that Hanako and I are indeed here and turns around to us. You two want anything, or are you just gonna stand there? Hanako seems to be getting a bit restless. No matter where we are going to seat ourselves, there's going to be people right next to her, and I don't think she looks convincingly older than 20, unlike Lily. Looking around, there's a games section to our right. A couple of billiards tables can be seen in the corner, and nobody's using them either. I glance to Hanako, about to ask her if she'd like to play, but she's already looking longingly in the same direction. Maybe it says something that we can get by with so few words nowadays. Or if you already can communicate without words, well, that's a win in my book. We'll go play pool over there. Akira leans back to see past me, before shrugging and sitting back up. It seems you'll have to put up with only me. For company, how unfortunate. Have fun, you two. We turn and set off for the abandoned corner, with Hanako taking the lead. The prospect of a nice, quiet game away from everyone makes her walk noticeably faster. Her eyes stay firmly fixed on her prize. The table's full size and well lit despite the surrounding darkness, thanks to the bright overhead lights. A huge painting of something covers the wall. There aren't many people milling about this corner of the club, and I can see Hanako becoming a little less tense as a result. You know how to play? I'm no expert, but yeah, I do. Then, 8-ball? Sure. Hanako gets the chalk and 2 cues from a set of hooks against one of the walls, while I fetch the balls from the table's pockets and grab the whack from a shelf underneath. She patiently waits as I get the table set up. After slotting the final ball into the whack and doing some last adjustments, I end up having to fight my perfectionist urges and getting the bottom row of balls exactly perpendicular with the edges. With the balls arranged and ready for play, I step back and take my cue from her outstretched arm. I carry out a quick inspection of the tip before I'm satisfied that it's in good condition. So, you've played before? Once or twice. I just kind of know the rules. The air between us feels a little awkward. She's still pretty nervous, understandably given that we are in public. Eventually the silence becomes too much, even for Hanako, and she begins to quietly stammer. Will break? I think for a moment before reaching into my pocket and drawing a coin. I take heads, your tails? Well, it wasn't really a question, but after a nod of agreement from Hanako, I flick the coin up in the air, catch it, and flip it over onto the back of my left hand. So, looks like it's you that gets to break. Oh, that's a nice shot. I really like this picture. This looks cool. What wonders me is sometimes the scars are more faded and sometimes they are a little bit wetter and more drawn out to the attention. I mean they are always sometimes they have the color like her eye, and sometimes they are so wet and bright, and that's a little bit odd. But maybe it's the lighting or something like that, I don't know. Hanako nods again before taking up her position at the end of the table. She's not usually this quiet around me, but I'm not wholly sure if it's because of the tidbit of information about her past that slipped out moments ago. The cue comes back in a practiced gesture before smacking dead into the center of the cue ball with a thud. The white ball skates across the smooth green expanse before smashing into the carefully arranged balls at the other end. Balls skitter across the table at high speed. The break was good, with the balls being nicely distributed around the table. My eyes are already flicking from one to another to pick out the easiest candidates to pocket. Hanako retreats from the side and I take my shot. Well done! It's only after Hanako says this that I realize the ball I was shooting at was sunk. I look at her and notice a small smile on her face. It's nice how playing games seems to loosen her up a little. Guess I'm stripes then. I take a step back and let her take the next shot, but she doesn't advance to the table. Rather, she looks down a little and rubs her arm. By now, I can identify this as one of her gestures that means she wants to say something, but isn't sure enough of herself to do it. What's up? It's just, you had a nice smile. Do you like playing this? I sigh and lean back against the table. I like playing, yeah. I think I was smiling because it's really nostalgic, though. Hanako tilts her head quizzically. Me and my friends used to play pool in the game centers near where we lived pretty often, and at night too. Wouldn't your parents... My parents both worked, so they didn't mind me not being in the house. I stayed on top of schoolwork pretty easily as well, so there was plenty of time to do other stuff at night. Our conversation dies down, with Hanako's timidity getting the better of her. In response, I get off the table and let her take her turn shooting. Wait, but he pocketed one in, so isn't he supposed to be again and again until he missed to pocket some? I mean, that's how I know it, but maybe there are different rules. Is this a little bit different? No. There aren't many solids in easy positions, so Hanako bends down and takes a while to line herself up properly. Hanako's expression is the same as when we played chess, a relaxed but focused concentration. Athletes sometimes talk about getting into a zone where nothing unnecessary enters the mind, and I wonder if that's something she can do. Like it, I want this view. I mean, if it's a little bit more closed up, I have a better resolution, and of course it will be my thumbnail. I am looking for thumbnails, and always when I see something good, I highlight it like this, and yeah. Also, it's a nice view, so I think you don't mind if I do that. Her posture is good, better than mine to be sure. It's very close to a textbook method of playing, whereas I tend to contort myself into whatever position I feel is most natural for the shot I'm taking. Oh god, look at her mouth! She lines up the cue. The cue comes back, and she does a couple of practice movements to make sure she's lined up correctly. Hanako takes games so seriously. It's the only real hobby I know she has, outside of reading. It feels good to be able to share this kind of experience with her. She takes the shot after careful consideration, and the cue ball zooms off towards the ball sitting at a slightly awkward angle near corner. Hanako's careful preparation pays off, as the cue ball hits and sends the ball rolling towards the corner pocket. For a moment, it looks like it'll stop just on the lip of the hole, but it eventually tilts just enough to drop in. Man, that was a hard shot. You can pull that off? I don't think I have much hope. If you can pull that off, I totally didn't read the if there. I'm not that good. It's not just the shot though, even when lining up. You looked really serious. You are like this with chess too. The praise makes her a little flustered. She sets the cue against the table and stands turning to me. I just like those kinds of things. Her fingers are twisting and turning tightly. When I was in the orphanage, I just kept doing the things I liked before. Oh, so she was in an orphanage for quite some time, I guess. If I played games with the others, that was enough for the helpers there. So I never thought about it that way. Staff at an orphanage would naturally want to have everyone socialize, at least a little, and I try to stop the air coming out of my mouth in a weird way that would result in a thing that I wouldn't really like to have. Of course, this is hardcore rum combined with cola, you know? I mean, I can only do this drunk, man. I hope you know that I'm kidding, right? If it's okay for me to ask, what was it like for you at the orphanage? Why do you want to know? I've touched a nerve, but the fact that she responded at all shows there's at least a chance she'll answer my question. Or she likely would just have shrunk away from it without a word. I'll tell you, but... What? Could you tell me who Hanako is? Oh, so it's a share. I want something from the past from me for a piece of a past of you. I think that's how she functions. Hanako? Oh, the letter. I wonder how long she's been waiting for the right opportunity to ask me this. I'm surprised, but don't hesitate. Sharing information is naturally a matter of give and take. Great. She's someone I used to like. Her nervousness subsided, at least for the time it took to ask. The curiosity is getting the better of her, and I feel a bit uncomfortable to be questioned on this, of all matters. There's no way I can spill out all my feelings about Hanako here. I don't even know myself what my feelings regarding her are. Even after talking to Yuko earlier, I want to avoid the subject around Hanako. Personally, I don't think they got that close to each other in the beginning of the game, if I remember correctly. She confessed to him, and he got a heart attack. She visited him a couple of times, and then it just ended. How deep could this relationship already have been? I mean, okay, we don't know what exactly happened before she asked him to be her boyfriend, but maybe it was. Maybe she was a dear friend before and we just don't know it. Or the writers just forgot to tell us the details. But anyway, it's getting interesting. Hanako doesn't look overly satisfied with the awkward ending to the discussion, but thinks better of continuing it. She was only just managing to ask me in the first place, without knowing that I wouldn't want to talk about it. I moved to finally take my own shot. The lack of talking between us is filled by the chatter of other patrons and the band at the other end of the club. Spying a shot that doesn't look too difficult, I try and shoot for it. The cue ball taps the ball and the trajectory is about right, but I put in too much power. It grazes the corner of the hole and moves off to the side, just skirting the pocket. I grit my teeth a little. I was pretty good at this game, and it's frustrating to have deteriorated so much. I step back and let Hanako take her turn, glancing towards the counter where Lily and Akira are sitting. They're talking busily between themselves, and seem to be having a good time. So he just dropped the matter? Even I would like to know more about this. I turn back to Hanako as she takes her shot, with the same face as before. This looks so funny. It's so cute in a way. She lines herself up and sharply pushes the cue. Just as before, she thinks the ball she was aiming for. It drops into the side pocket more cleanly than her last, though. It looks as if she's getting a bit more into the groove of the game. Nicely done. She hesitates for a moment and begins to address me without turning her head. The orphanage was nice. It felt a bit like Yamaku does, and the staff was really kind. But as the years went on, I realized something. I was different. Oh, this is cute. This image is so, I don't know. It feels strange to hear her speak so candidly about herself. And she doesn't even really stutters anymore or takes long breaks. She is more openly. She's audibly forcing the words out. Wait, what? It feels strange to hear her speak so candidly about herself. She's audibly forcing the words out. It reminds me of when she insisted she tell me about the fire. Hanako must feel that she has to tell me of such things if I'm willing to tell her about my own past. Her grip on the cue tightens as she continues to speak. Oh God, what happened? Most of the children there were up for adoption, just like I was. But unlike me, they gradually left, one by one. By the time I went to Yamaku, I was among the oldest children there. For a while, I helped with some of the younger children, but eventually... I lay a hand on her shoulder. She is forcing herself by now. It's okay. She looks mildly surprised for a moment, but then nods before setting down her cue and turning towards me. Okay, Hiso, you heard a lot of information here, and what give you her in return? She was a girl I used to like. Come on, give her some more information. Give us some more information about your past. I want to know as well.
Do you really think so?
Yeah, I think so. Even while Lily's away, I'll be around to protect you, right? Hanako looks at me for a long time. I'm taken a bit off guard. Her expression hasn't changed from before, still looking somewhat maudlin, and silences between us aren't unusual. I think it's the fact that she's holding such prolonged eye contact that makes this feel a bit odd. It feels as if she's judging me. It's a very strange, vaguely uncomfortable feeling. Well, I don't know, a girl peering into my eyes and getting the feeling that she peers into my very soul to determine if the things I say are really of truth and worth of her. I think, I don't know, maybe it would feel a little bit weird, but it would also feel pretty, yeah, pretty. Hanako?
I understand. Thank you.
She smiles and looks away a little, but it feels stilted. Hanako isn't very good at faking emotions, and this is no exception. I move to the table and take my turn to try and distract myself, but it doesn't seem to work. Does she think I'm not up to the task of helping her? Is she disappointed in me? Why would you think that? Because you have the feeling she's faking an emotion? It's an interesting thing. But still, you haven't told a lot about your past yet. Come on, please do it. I'm probably overthinking this. While her silences are just an accepted fact of life by now, sometimes I do wish she'd speak more. With a thud, I sent the white sphere careening down the table into my target. What? Hanako sees what's happening just as I do. The ball hits hard with a striped ball I'd intended to sing, veering off towards the 8th ball. Sure enough, as both Hanako and I look on and bite our lips, they connect and the black ball rolls leisurely into a corner pocket. All I can do is sigh. It looks like Hanako's smiling again, so maybe it wasn't for naught. That was an awful shot. You win. Seems I'm getting pretty rusty after all this time. Hanako bends down and begins to shoot the remaining balls into the closest pockets. I almost ask if we could play another game, but a quick check of my watch confirms that the night is getting pretty late. Lily and Akira appear to be still drinking at the counter. Seems like we'll have to drag them away.
Isao?
I turn back to Hanako, who's still looking over the pool table, shooting balls. Her voice sounds different from before.
I'm here for you as well.
Oh, it's so nice! I don't know why I'm also uppity about it. This is something I wish for myself. That I am here for someone special and dear to me, and that she would be there for me too if I have no help. That's why you're talking about finding your other half. You always want to support and help your significant others and support them in any way you can, but also you really want to hear that they will also do everything for you to support you in your own dreams and wishes. So that's the reason for me that I'm so happy about this small but very intimate moment. I suddenly find myself blushing. It's only natural that she'd respond this way, given what I said earlier. But it's still a shock to actually hear it. Yeah, it's something It's something so special. You can think everything you want, but actually speaking it out makes it so much more impactful. Oh god. Just what is my relationship with this girl? I want to protect her, to make her happy. I'm not really sure that it's something like love, but I don't think these are the same kinds of feelings I have for Lily either. This line here, this is what I wanted to do in my first relationship. But it was unfortunately broken down on her end for a reason I can't understand till this day how that could happen. I feel sorry for her having gone through so much in her life. Her parents died in a house fire, and she lived in an orphanage for much of her childhood. I can't even imagine that kind of life. But I feel like there's so little I can do for her, especially now that Lily is going to be leaving the country. Okay, that was a pretty nice episode. And I really hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And of course, as always, I hope I will see you in the next episode as well. So stay tuned for more.